You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This crowd, man. This crowd is so good to us every single night, and here in the playoffs, it's been so special. Again, we're not done playing hockey, and I think we showed that tonight. We just got to be able to do that on the road now.
Nick Ehlers post-game interview saluting the crowd, and why not, man? This is a homer series. Not unlike the St. Louis series in the first round. Two teams that play incredible on their in their own barn, and then not so much on the road. But now the challenge is for the Jets to go get a win in Dallas. And after winning a game to make it 3-2, you just get this feeling like the Jets are going to have a jump in their step and can't wait to get on that plane and go force a Game 7 to come back home.
I've mentioned this before. I mentioned it halfway through the season. These guys are a lot more transparent when they do interviews. Connor Hellebuck never does interviews after a loss. He did one the other night. You're getting more out of the players. They're being honest about their performances. Look at Ehlers, just telling you right now. They got to do some on the road. Mm-hmm. Those guys never used to talk like that.
Yeah.
This team's a lot closer, but two things. The gut feeling was absolutely correct.
Bang.
Mentioned it was going to be more than 2 goals, but Ehlers talks about the fans, and if you notice, they were calling out MVP right at the beginning of the game. They thought that would help Helly settle in early at home, and I think it did because he actually played a very confident game in net. But this was the part I loved about the fans last night. If you didn't see it, after Scheifele got the first goal, which went off one defender into another defender into the net, you got to get puck luck sometimes. They were talking about that. Scheifele gets another goal that gets called back because he gloves it, and it goes in. But if you heard the fans, if you weren't at the game and could hear them on TV, the fans were yelling, should have kicked it, should have kicked it, like the other night when that Dallas goal. So the fans were all in it. And even outside, it was incredible. And they just got to bottle up this performance. They know that. Mm-hmm. Take it into Dallas tomorrow night. And God knows, Game 7 could be happening right here on Monday, I guess.
The series has so many angles, and I know you want to jump in here, Kirby, but so many interesting angles. You've got in Dallas them cheering Otter's better, like Ottinger versus Hellebuck. And then Ottinger, I didn't realize this until I watched the broadcast, till watching the broadcast last night, and they mentioned it. Ottinger said at some point in this series that he's got a lot on the line because he wants to start for the United States at the Olympics, and he wants to show he's the best American goalie.
Wow. That's been a goal of his, yes.
Yeah,
and
so
he's a young guy.
Him versus Hellebuck, like there's that whole thing, and then two teams that play very similar. It's great. It's a great series.
Yep.
You saw it last night, the spirit of our city in full force. Like when you believe in your team, big things happen. And we've seen it before, comebacks, and we've seen it in the first round, how the Jets can really, make it happen even in the last second. Mm-hmm. And I'm just really excited to see what the next game could bring for the city. I mean, the whiteout parties have been lit. The downtown has just been partying. So, yeah, I'm excited for what they can bring to the next game.
So the Whiteout Watch Party information just came down this morning through a media release.
Yeah,
and
I did see
tickets
that.
for the second round Game 6 Winnipeg Whiteout Watch Party are on sale now already at Ticketmaster because the game tomorrow, puck drop, is actually at a reasonable time, 7 o'clock on a Saturday. Yeah. Doors are going to open at 6. And listen, if that's not your thing, there's obviously a lot of great places, like some of our sponsors, like Boston Pizza. A lot of people getting together at home parties now, too, and this is the long weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to try and get out to their cottage, depending on what area.
Oof,
and I'll tell you what, there was some American coverage last night, and I'll give them kudos. Shane Knighty was part of it on TNT, obviously a Manitoban, with Darren Pang and Brendan Burke, and they were talking about how Manitoba's been affected with these wildfires, and getting people together at that game last night and having the Jets play kind of got some people's mind off of what was really seriously going on in the world.
Yep, got this on the Boston Pizza text line from Darren. He says, I picked up my daughter from school, and her friend said the Jets are done. They'll never win 3 in a row. I told them they don't need to win 3 in a row. They just need to win the next game. They didn't understand until I explained it. Listen to Dad talking like a coach on the drive home. They don't need to win 3 in a row. They just need to win the next game.
And that was a good one, and thank God, because like a lot of us, including Hot Dog Guy, we put some good money on that win last night.
Mm-hmm.
And
he showed us his winnings there.
Yeah, and I don't mind. If you won last night, I had a good ticket come in too, and I'm going to leave you with this. How about it?
Yeah!
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Gee, long weekend coming up. Gas is going up and again. How can it be 117 in one place and 136 in the next? Absolute price gouging.
See it every long weekend. Never a big surprise. It's not a fun thing, but you kind of expect it. Gas going up.
I saw it on the drive-in this morning, and I was kind of like, oh, I'm so happy I filled up the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people on social media were talking about getting their carbon tax rebates over the last. I had this conversation with my wife. She goes, yeah, we got the carbon rebate. She goes, we did? And she goes, yeah, I got it this year. I said, what do you mean you got it this year? Did I get it last year? And she goes, yeah, it's whoever hands their taxes in first. I said, I didn't know that. So she got her taxes done before I did this year. So if you want a little trick to getting the rebate tax, if you both have separate accounts, that would be the key.
Interesting.
And also, don't forget, Joe, whenever he sees cheap gas, he fills up like 10 jerry cans and then drives around with them in the back of his SUV. So, Kirby, if you're ever looking for cheap gas, just call Joe.
They call me Jerry over at the gas station. That's how many cans I fill up.
It's Jerry Can Joe.
Jerry Can Joe. Okay, listen, Joe, I'm happy, though, that you took into account that our listeners, though, have told us that that's not safe, Phil, to have them in the back of the vehicle.
That's
so
right.
Joe got the rack on top of the SUV, and he puts the jerry cans on top of the vehicle.
Strap them down with bungee cords like crazy.
Exactly.
I'm ready for anybody's long weekend.
Okay, careful with that fire.
This goes out to the dickhead in front of me in the gray Kia. We got enough issues with wildfires going on in this province, and you go and throw your cigarette butt out the window in the ditch like a dickhead. Be better.
Mm-hmm. I think,
That's awful.
everybody be careful with every form of fire right now. It's just a good general message.
Like this, Smokey the Bear would be disappointed
He'd be
in
busy.
that person.
Yeah. Smokey would be all over this situation. Okay, guilty. He's still, I feel like it's bi-weekly updates on the Arberg Bakery, and I don't know, guilty. Like, you're rubbing it in our face at this point. We haven't been able to get out there, but he likes to call with updates.
Okay.
Also, he's guilty. You've turned your Bluetooth up too loud again, so just a note, maybe notch that down a bit. But anyway, here we go.
This left the famous Arberg Bakery that you guys have made famous. I guess I helped. But, hey, listen, it's awesome food and everything else, but really the best thing and the most enjoyable always go to, you can't eat donuts the rest of your life. Anyway, their rye bread is to die for. And their marble, I hear, is to die twice for. But listen, I'm going to bring you guys toasted jam and blueberry jam and all the whole shooting match. Live, in studio, free toast from Arberg. I just got to set it up logistically. It's in?
I love you, Guilty, but if you're coming with food, I love toast and jam, but I can have toast and jam any day of the week at Casa de Aubrey. If you're coming with food from the Arberg Bakery, you're bringing donuts.
All I heard out of that whole phone call was, that's right, black coffee, 2 sugars, because that's what it still reminds me of. Going through a drive-thru. Yes, the Arberg Bakery show, that's Tommy and the gang up there. I even made a note down on my new fresh pad of paper that's got to happen. It's kind of snuck by. I went in for that hernia surgery, right? And now it's a long weekend. Man, we got to get this done.
We will. This summer. How about that?
Yeah.
How about it? This summer.
About it?
Oh, my.
Okay, this is the...
Toast and jam in Arberg, baby.
Well, sounds like...
Well, you're not inviting me to your house for toast. No. I got to go to Arberg.
This is the other Phil.
What's up, PJK? It's the other Philly checking in. I know it's been a while. I am just anxiously waiting this next game coming up, and I am praying, and I'm hoping, and I believe we can win. Let's go! And I just want to say shout out to Eastside, Mike and Jesse. They're working there. I got the day off, so thank you. I love you guys, PJK.
That other Philly, man, he makes some good noises, like some unique, funny noises.
I'm scared.
Yeah. You know who you're not scared of? It's Loud Guy, who's fired up about the big win last night.
Hey, it's Loud Guy. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Jets we know, man. That's the Jets we know. We need to play like that. We'll keep going. I got faith. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's coming home. I don't know. They just have a look about them last night, and once you're down 3-1 and you win that game 5, the vibe is good. Like, you feel like, yeah, if we can just get this home.
There was nothing bad about yesterday's game as far as performance goes. You have to take that with you on the road. And percentages, I mean, they should win one on the road in this series. They're the best team in hockey, according to the stats this year.
That's right. Sorry, go ahead, Kirby.
I was going to say, like Loud Guy said, and George Michaels, you got to have faith, the faith, the faith.
First, it was
another song.
First, it was taking care of business.
We're creating a playlist for the Jets today.
I just feel it because I'm telling you, we've got this.
Is this a KTEL commercial? Kirby sings the Jets anthems.
Kirby, she sold more albums than the Beatles. I remember how it all started with, wow, this person, Boxcar Willie, this guy's been riding the train his entire life with a guitar, and he sold more albums than the Beatles. How did his record agent find him?
$9.99. KTEL. Order now. We'll throw in
great album.
The food dehydrator. Wow, this is going to be hell of a morning.
Random songs out of nowhere.
Well, I just got to go with it.
She's created her own Jet Jams playlist.
Kirby's Jet Jams. This is a good one. We got to wrap with this. We love the drive-through complaints.
Hi there, this is Rick in Winnipeg. I've never phoned your phone before. Probably could every day, that's why. But today I just want to point out and bring light to the fact that I should have got the guy's license plate. I guess you couldn't announce it anyways. But Mr. Range Rover, dude, leaving McDonald's at Grant, right by the dog park there. First off, he pulls over. He decides to inspect his food. Okay, whatever. But he does so in such a manner that nobody behind him can get up to the window, right? It's that guy who's so important that when he decides, I'm just going to pull over and look at stuff, the world around him ceases to exist. But then he proceeds to look through the bag, sees some stuff he doesn't like. I don't know, maybe they put in some extra ketchup or whatever it was. Throws it out the window on the ground.
Oh.
Just throw your trash wherever you want. Good job, bud. Why you get out and take a big dump on the ground next time? You got a Range Rover. You can do what you want. Clown.
That's my McDonald's there
Rover.
in Charleswood. And the tricky part is when you do pull out of there, you have to either make a wicked right turn to get onto the roadway because there's a Safeway right across the street. So there's a lot of action. So nobody wants you to stop. And it's the double lane in, right? To get to the window. But you're right. You don't stop right in front of the window while someone's just trying to get up to the window.
Chuck something out.
Well, don't be taking a dump in the drive-thru either.
No, please.
We
don't even do that in the dog park across the street.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Since you're talking about memories, I want to remind you that Tuesday, the start of a historic, maybe the most historic 92-1 city world tour in history. And there's been a lot of great trips over 45 years. But This one is one for the ages because it will never happen again when you have that many great musicians under one roof in the UK to honor and pay tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. That is going to be one heck of a trip. All the details are online, but we started up Tuesday morning right here on the program.
How unbelievable is that going to be? Can you imagine winning that trip?
Oh, man.
Oh.
I would need somebody to pinch me just
Yeah.
to make it feel real.
Yeah, because you know you're witnessing history. You know it's something, one of those concerts people are going to talk about for years and years to come.
Think about how much work and detail would have to be put in when you get the ball rolling. Like you're sitting there, and I mean, there's been a lot of historic acts that have had wonderful careers, but you're sitting there and going, okay, here's Sabbath, here's Ozzy, we've had other versions, and these guys want to perform. So the promoters and these people are putting this idea together, and then all of a sudden, you don't have to do any more work. You know why? Because people are calling you going, hey, how do I get on this show?
That's right.
And when you get that attitude, they're going to be performances of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Everybody out there is going to be on an emotional high, including the audience.
You know what I hope they do? I hope they make a doc out of it.
That's probably going to happen. Good idea,
Great
Curbs.
point.
Yeah.
You got to believe
Because
it's
I
in the
can't
works.
be there, you can't be there, we all can't be there. But I would love to be there, at least in my living room, watching, all of the performances in some way, shape, or form.
But you know what is going to happen? Somebody on social media in this province is going to say, I was the one there. And I am the one in the documentary that you can look for or streaming. That's the key.
Yeah, that's the even, cooler part of this show is it's going to be historic.
And the cool thing is all these bands, because Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, like such icons, such pioneers, the Prince of Darkness, and everybody who's on this bill will have, a story of how much Sabbath and Ozzy have meant to them. And it's just the stories are going to be there on stage. Ozzy's going to be joining bands on stage to do Ozzy songs, to do Sabbath songs. It's going to be unbelievable. And start qualifying on Tuesday morning after the long weekend to win the trip of a lifetime to go to this show only right here on 92.1 City.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I came across this conversation that I would love to know your guys' response to, and I would love to know on the text line as well, what is something that you've tried once and immediately knew, like, nope, not for me.
Southern Comfort. I didn't.
There was no hesitation, Phil.
Yeah, it was a 2-6.
You tried it once and that was it?
I think I was 20. Well, it was.
We tried more than once.
Yeah,
the bottle.
I tried the bottle several times that night until it was empty, and then proceeded to do a bunch. Just have a night where you wake up the next day and be like, oh my God, I'm never doing that again.
Never again.
I think there's a lot of liquor or types of, drinks for people like that.
I'll throw one more in before we go to Joe. I'll say oysters. I did oysters one night. Same kind of situation. Lots of booze was involved. And it was like the time of my life. I just remember we were all, it was a fun night at a pub or wherever the hell we were. And a plate after plate of oysters. And then the next day, again, it was all I could taste. I had a hangover, and I've never touched them since, oysters.
Yeah, the texture of oysters is just for me. I'm not a big seafood guy, but vegetables.
Joe!
When he was 12.
Tried them once, and I've never been a fan ever since I was a kid.
Did you even try them once?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Melissa on the text line
mostly green vegetables.
Says running.
Right. That's a good one too.
That is, yeah. I mean,
go.
for me, it's like there's a few sport activities. I'm not into skiing. There's no way strapping
downhill
my legs
or cross country.
Just anything
No
strapped
skiing.
to my legs, going anywhere near the snow. I
Some
want nothing
motion.
to do.
Okay.
Well, that includes water as well. I don't want
wanna
to
water
water
ski?
ski either. I don't
Okay.
want to. I don't want to wakeboard. I don't want to snowboard. There's no boards being strapped
No skis.
to the bottom of my feet.
No
Okay,
boards.
you're on the dock with a cold drink in your hand, cheering for the people who are wakeboarding. That's what you're doing. Yeah?
I'm
fair.
more of a grounded individual, which leads me to my next point of I tried ziplining once, not for me.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I found out I have a fear of heights, and once I was all strapped up and ready to go up there, I immediately looked down and said, not for me.
At least you tried it.
Yeah.
Like getting up to that point. I knew I was scared of heights when I was like walking up to a spot and said, I can't do this. So
I
good
was
on you.
just going to say, in this room, we would not be, as a show collectively, what you would call extreme dudes. Like
No.
Because I'm hearing you talk, and Joe, you talk, and then I was going to throw in like cliff jumping. A bunch of my buddies, when we were, you're at someone's cabin, you jump up, and it's very popular when, especially in cabin country, you jump off some cliff into the lake, and I do not enjoy that either. You do it because you climbed up there and you have to get down.
How do you think I felt? Okay, my mother-in-law skydived. Okay,
Oh,
and she was like,
intense.
like my father-in-law had passed away. It's something she wanted to do, and on her bucket list, skydive. And I'm sitting there listening to the story of the senior citizen who decided to get in a plane and skydive. Would you ever do it?
Never.
No, I could never do it. I'm scared of heights. But God love her for doing it.
We're getting a lot of reaction. Cold water scuba diving, lemon gin,
Oh,
Yeah.
marriage.
yeah.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Be a good person.
Rate or review this show wherever you subscribe and get PJK into more ears.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
780 City, 780 2484. The name game. We get a contestant. We ask you a series of questions, and then poof, we guess your name. It's outstanding. Let's get right at it here. Find ourselves a contestant. Good morning. Have you ever played the name game before?
I have not.
Okay. Would you like to participate?
It would be my pleasure.
Okay.
Amazing.
You're in. How old are you?
I am 56 years old.
Are you outdoors right now? 56-year-old random guy.
I'm driving to my job site.
Okay, excellent. Hardworking guy. All right. Okay, I'll go first with my questions, okay?
Sounds good.
Do you have a bench or a chair in your shower? Came up on the program this week.
We do not.
No bench that you can sit down in and chill. Okay.
Not that old yet.
Well, no, not like for a senior citizen, but some of the showers have like
benches. Yeah.
benches
It's
in
a bit
them.
luxurious, one might say.
Yeah, I want one. Okay. What do you wear to bed at night? Just your undies,
quite
commando.
personal.
I know. As it's coming out of my mouth, I feel like this. You couldn't do this in the workplace. Like human resources would get involved. But what the hell? It's the name game. How do you sleep at night?
It depends on the weather. Sometimes it's shorts and a t-shirt. Sometimes it would be long, jammy pants and a t-shirt.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Interesting.
Kirby, your turn with the questions.
Okay. This is kind of like, I guess, a would you rather, but like if it came down to only eating one or the other for the rest of your life, pudding or Jell-O?
Most likely pudding.
Okay.
Like tapioca? Rice pudding?
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
rice
I
pudding.
like it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to throw up.
Me too. Thank you, Joe.
Okay. All
the
right.
texture.
What is the, I don't want to say weirdest thing, but what is the What's something in your fridge right now that would stick out? You got any leftovers in there?
Well, we usually have leftovers, and they usually stay a little longer than they should. So they don't get eaten as leftovers. I would probably say yes, as leftovers.
Good one. Yep.
Okay.
Jojo.
Okay. You've mentioned we a couple of times, so my first question is your partner's first name.
Jody.
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 Oh,
Not with an I, with a Y.
With the Y. That is
J-O-D-Y.
very
We'll
important.
enter that into our data
Please,
situation
yes.
here. Yeah.
Yes.
Crunch those numbers over there, Phil.
And
It's a Y, not
at
an I.
56, you've seen a few things in your time. It's a time machine long weekend here musically. That'll start with BDK later this afternoon. If you had to choose your favorite era or decade, or maybe want to go back in time, what era or decade would it be?
Oh, God, that's a good one. Well, I started growing up in the 70s, Love and Kiss. I probably would like to go back and see them in like 75.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't worry. In about 10 years, you'll be able to see them again, too. Yeah, you don't have to go back in time for Kiss. They've retired 17 times. No. Okay, that's very good. The 70s. Great era. Great era. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it for your questions, Joe?
Yeah, that's my two. Yep.
Okay. Time to guess your name. I really think it's an easy one today. You got to be a Brad.
No.
Was that close?
No.
Not even close.
Well,
Okay.
again, if you consider the alphabet, it's probably closer than some, but...
Oh, so is it? Did I get the first letter
the
right?
letter. Yeah.
The
No, you're not close to the letter. The B is close to the letter in the alphabet.
Oh, what about Chris?
Depends on how you spell it. You're getting closer with the first letter.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Kirbs.
Kirby.
I'm still trying to figure out what the first letter is.
I think it's C. Is it C?
It is not a C.
No.
See, that's what I mean.
It would be the other letter that spells Chris.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
You are right on there, Philly.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm like a private investigator.
Are you a Keith?
I am not a Keith.
Are you a Kevin?
I am not a Kevin.
No, it's easy. It's Kyle.
I am not a Kyle.
Oh,
no.
wow.
I'll give you a hint. If you want a hint, my first name, there is a individual from the Bombers that's very, very well known.
Well, you got Kyle
Well,
Walters.
the
but
only
that's-
other name I can think of is...
No.
I said Kyle, right?
Yeah.
So, Keenan?
Yeah, I'm talking. It's an older player. He's on one of the signs around the Bomber Stadium.
Around the Bomber
And
Stadium.
he's a quarterback.
So it's not...
Oh, he's a quarterback, and he's on one of... Kenny!
You got it.
Kenny playing!
Yes.
Then don't think for a second, Kenny, the clue helped. Okay?
Touchdown!
Is that with a Y or an I?
That's a Y all day long.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny with an I.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. It's Jody with an I or a Y.
She's never looked at the Ring of Honor when she's walked into
no, I'm
Princess
more
Auto
focused
Stadium.
on the rum hut, okay?
Wow. We are so good at this. Kenny,
Oh, Kenny,
thank you. You barely had to give us 10 hints. We appreciate you playing the name game.
say hi to Jody
Right
with
on.
the Y.
I will. Have a great day.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Heard a big boom of thunder here in the studio. It's windy, rainy, miserable out this morning, but nobody is complaining. Keep that rain coming. We need it all over Winnipeg, all over Manitoba.
Hey, this just came in on the Boston Pizza text line, by the way, too. A big accident on the west perimeter near Brookside.
Okay.
That just came in, so I don't have any other details. Thank you for that. Big accident, west perimeter near Brookside.
Up on the 92.1 City Facebook page, I put up the Jamie Benn right hook of Scheifele.
That was a left, wasn't it?
Was it a left?
A left jab, I believe.
Yeah, it was a left. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
And I'm asking the question, or we're asking the question this morning, should Ben be suspended? We know he won't be. I mean, the NHL's made it pretty clear. Somebody pointed out, listen, if Marchment doesn't get suspended for hitting the ref with his stick, what the hell would it take to get suspended in this series?
I'll tell you what, I think the refereeing overall has been just kind of goofy. Yeah. They made some ticky-tack calls last night. Wes McCauley. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's on a plane yet or still sitting at the airport, but if he's listening, listen, you got your name mentioned during the broadcast more than some of the players. Maybe there's something wrong with that.
He loves that, though.
Oh, my
he's
God.
One of those guys.
It was kind of weird, but yeah, he's not getting anything. I mean, the penalty call was exactly the same. They gave Scheifele the same.
Yeah.
A 2-minute call and a 10-minute misconduct for taking a punch.
Yeah, and then Gary Galley, who, love him or hate him, and it seems like there's no in-between with the commentator, Gary Galley. He was kind of saying Scheifele has to, take a deep breath because he was losing it on the bench.
I like Scheifele when he doesn't do that. Yeah, but then going into Game 6, hopefully. But they've got a lot of momentum going into the game tomorrow night. They played almost a perfect game, every player.
You know what? Because it's Friday, do you mind if I do this, Joe?
I mind.
Kirby, are you okay with it? I'm just going to say, before we get to this, I feel really good about Game 6 in Dallas. I know that's weird to say because the Jets have no road playoff wins so far. But to me, there's just something about winning last night. Letting the Jets off the mat a bit, they can't wait to get on the plane and get to Dallas now and force a Game 7 to come back to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So before we get Joe's thoughts.
The power play got going.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, well, pretty good. The Greek food from the other night paid off.
Hey, we had lunch with you.
Got the feeling.
And some lunch yesterday. And, bang on you called, they'd cover a goal and a half or two. Yeah. So
that paid well. It was a 3-1 pay.
Mm-hmm.
You know who paid well? Nice. You for lunch yesterday. Thank you.
I did. Yeah, no problem. He had some kind of avocado thing. I don't know. Was it good?
Yeah, it was delicious.
Okay.
Everything at your restaurant's great.
Thank you.
Joe?
I'm having McDonald's this morning for breakfast.
Yeah, we're making
sure
I'm
going to tell you right now.
Gut is packed.
I agree. I haven't seen the odds, so I don't know. We're definitely not going to be favored tomorrow night, so I do like the Jets in an underdog situation. Here's the interesting thing to me. Number 1 overall in the rankings, the Jets went in here, and yet no one's even talked about this. We are the underdogs in this series against Dallas. Dallas was the number 1 favorite team in the Vegas odds makers to win the Stanley Cup. Mm-hmm. Why we haven't been playing that underdog card is beyond me. It comes through tomorrow night. Jets on the road. They will pay, and we will see a Game 7 here on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking one game at a time, but I do believe we do with the momentum we had the other night. Seriously.
I love that. He's taking one game at a
time.
time.
That's what you got to do,
like
Joe.
He's being
one
interviewed.
Step at a time.
Well, I can't bet on Monday yet.
Yeah,
no, it
just sounded funny.
But I would lay down my hard,
you would lay down your heart?
My hard-earned money, but it's not hard-earned. I'm going to lay down my money.
If they win 6, they're winning 7. So
I can't look that far.
I know it's you shouldn't. The Jets aren't looking that far ahead. They just want one. They want to bring it home.
This team's too good not to win one on the road, and I think the Hellebuck we saw, and I know he's played well at home, but last night he just seemed to be very sure of himself. There was nothing shaky outside of the first few minutes of the game.
Devil's advocate, though, he's looked good at home the whole playoffs, right? It's the road that...
I just think this team yesterday, they got the power play goal, they got a wonky goal early. Things were just kind of going in the right direction, and everybody played a good game.
They've been great in this series. They've been the better team in a bunch of these games.
Take them to win tomorrow night.
I agree.
I'm just sick of seeing that green. So just wrap it up.
The Dallas green?
They don't
have great uniforms. Totally.
It's just a little too much, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, I like green. I just think it's just, I just...
The old Dallas Stars with the black and the sharper green was way better than what they do now.
Yeah. Well, you're only going to see the green for 2 more games, Kirby.
Yeah. According to Joe.
And the white out.
The gut feeling, the gut is packed today, and the gut's calling for a win in Game 6. We love it.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Hit us up wherever you get this podcast and rate and review the show.
Good fortune will come to you.
Actually, we can't promise that, but we'll cross our fingers.
45% of parents say the biggest argument they have with their children, this is under the age of 12, by the way, is about what? So almost half of the people that took this survey, these parents say the biggest argument that they have with their children is about what? And these are kids under the age of 12.
Okay.
Hey, listen, this is one of those survey questions that comes up every year, obviously.
Yeah. Changes.
Did the
with-
arguments change over the years?
Probably.
Sure.
780 City, 780-2484. Good morning.
Hi, can I have Kirby, please?
Curbs, what do you think?
I just need to hear it one more time.
You bet. These are kids under the age of 12.
Yes.
45% of parents say the biggest argument they have with their children nowadays is about what?
I would say screen time.
Number 2, Kirby.
Yeah, good one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely not around when I was growing up. But then screen time kind of took on a
TV, though.
Yeah, there was TV, and then there was also, but then video games, right? Became a big thing in my world, and now with phones and
If you sit
and
too
everything
close
else.
to the TV, you're going to go blind.
that was one of 2 ways you could go blind when I was growing up.
I always got in trouble for being like on MSN Messenger until all hours of the night on a
Yeah.
school night. Get off of the computer.
The big one. Hello, City. Go ahead with your guess.
I get a Philly?
Phil, you've got 2 kids, one under the age of 12 still.
Bedtime.
That's number 3. Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, bedtime.
Every day.
Well, and as they get older, right, it's not cool to go to bed early. Well, sorry, Kirby, it is cool if you go to bed early.
Yeah, tell him that it's a really great idea to go to bed early.
They're not hearing that. They always act like I'm just...
Is it a negotiation situation?
Always. Well, they act shocked that there's an actual bedtime at any point. Like, what are you talking about? Bedtime. Hello, City.
Hi there. I'm going to guess showering.
No, that's a good one, too.
Yeah, that is good.
Oh.
At some point, though, they learn themselves that, a shower would be good. Then you know where the world's changing.
Yep. Different interests all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They're showering twice a day. Good morning, City.
Morning. I'm going to go with Wi-Fi.
No, nothing to do with Wi-Fi.
What's the password?
Yeah.
Up for grabs, Matthew Good tickets coming with I Mother Earth, 780 City. Good morning.
I can't believe I got through.
You did.
There you go.
Okay.
Make it count.
Right? Okay, let's go with coming home on a certain time.
Curfew.
No curfew, no. That was old school for sure.
Definitely. Hi, City.
Hi. You guys took all my good guesses earlier, but what about food?
What about food?
Like making sure they eat all their dinner.
Well, guess what, my friend?
No way.
All those good guesses that were guessed were not the number one answer. Eating their dinner and making sure that it happens is still the number one problem between parents and their kids under the age of 12.
Wow.
Because there's more action going on in the world too, right?
Yeah.
Between, you live it.
Mine
Yeah.
eat. Like, what I put in front of them, it's like, it's gone. Like, they would...
Well, that's good. There was no choice when I was growing up. That was your only option, right?
Do they ask what's for dinner all the time, though? Like, what's for dinner tonight?
They it's a different generation now. They're always in a... Well, because they typically have somewhere to be.
Yes.
So you got to get them fed right when they got hockey or flag football or something. So you feed them right when they get home from school, and they'll tell me what they want. I never used to tell my mom what I wanted.
I couldn't even, I couldn't
No,
imagine.
there was one meal being served.
That's
you
right.
were either eating or you're going to go hungry. Now it's like, right? Yeah. So anyway, here was what else was on the list. Still homework, school issues were still on the top
Get your
5
homework
list.
done, yeah.
And believe it or not, arguments about performance in either like sporting things or other events or other things they might be involved with.
Yeah.
All right, what's your name?
I'm going to pass it forward. Pay it forward.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, forward Friday.
That's nice. You can still give your name, though, so we can give you kudos.
It's Stu.
Stu! Disco Stu! Thank you very much. We'll pay it forward here.
Thanks, buddy.
Hello, City.
Hi.
Hey, it's your lucky day. Stu paid it forward to you. You got Matt Good tickets.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Stu.
Yeah, hang on the line. We got to get some information, man.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Someone says Yogi Bear way better than Smokey on the Boston Pizza text line.
doesn't get enough credit for being sophisticated. Wore a tie.
Hat.
Always had food.
Smokey had a good outfit, though.
Yeah,
Park
he had
Ranger.
the cool hat.
But different, though. Different bears. Yogi was an antagonist.
He was all about hijinks.
See, right? Yeah.
Yogi.
Hijinks. Stealing the picnic baskets.
Yeah, and he had a little, he had Boo Boo.
Yeah, who was Boo Boo?
Was it his son?
No,
Or nephew?
his buddy.
His buddy?
I think it was his buddy. And
Boo Boo
then,
was a lot younger than Yogi,
and
wasn't he?
then they had their international friend, Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo.
Remember from Japan? Yo-Yo the Bear?
Yes.
Yeah, but Yogi and Boo Boo.
Boo Boo was like his
buddy.
sidekick.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was his son all along.
His son. Oh, what a beautiful father and son show.
Boo Boo is Yogi Bear's constant companion, not his son, as
bud.
some believed.
Yeah.
He often
Interesting.
acts as Yogi's conscience.
That's right. Yes. That was the whole deal, right? On the
We
show.
all need a buddy like that, you know?
Well, if your conscience would always go, Yogi. That's how it always started, right? Yogi. And then there was Yo-Yo who would go, yo, you. That was his line, the Japanese bear. And then there was, hey, Mr. Ranger, sir. Right? Mr. Ranger was always in the picture, too.
What? And we don't talk enough about that Ranger. Yogi tormented him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like the Ranger was just trying to make sure the campers didn't
Just
get their
trying to do
picnic
his
baskets
job.
stolen.
Just trying.
He never,
That is so funny. I forgot about that Ranger guy.
What about Snagglepuss? He wasn't a part of that world, right? He was a different show?
Different show. Had his own show, Snagglepuss.
You know who one of my favorite cartoon characters of all time was? This could be a whole different conversation, maybe next week, but that big rooster that used to...
Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, man!
I say, boy.
No, he was too much.
Hey, well,
he was too much.
He was always, hey, I'll tell you what, okay? Foghorn Leghorn remind me of your father and I'll tell you why.
My dad?
Because your dad would have advice about any topic. If you brought up a topic, and that's what Foghorn Leghorn would do. I say, boy. He'd give you, you were fun.
Crying.
Because he was a big guy, too.
Oh, my God.
Foghorn used to beat up that dog, right? The barnyard dog.
Why was he so mean
Don't
to the
forget about
dog?
Cindy Bear. That was Yogi's girlfriend, by the way.
Cindy was the best.
Thank you for that.
And Yogi was a legend, just cruising around the park, stealing picnic baskets, got a girlfriend.
What a gig, like an all-inclusive. You're living. You're the only criminal in this whole area, right?
Just like Sam Malone. The guy was everything.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.